Hey YouTube, we are at Morgan's Hill, and this is Morgan's Hill here. It's steeper than it looks. Like all YouTube videos never can give any kind of justice to the trail, but for newer people, I guess, like this is a little bit challenging. For somebody overly experienced, and obviously this is gonna be kind of lame, I guess. But anyway, this is Morgan's Hill, and I thought it was a cool little hill descent that we were going down, and it's basically a bunch of loose gravel, and it's difficult to see the size of the obstacles that are on the ground in front of me. Like, you can see them, but it's difficult to judge like the size. So the big rock in the center that you see there, that one is probably a little tiny bit smaller than a basketball, and then all the loose stuff, the majority of the stuff around there is about softball size probably. There's one kind of bigger one up there in the direction of that arrow, and that one is definitely bigger than a basketball. And like I was saying, so there also is a bypass for this on the left hand side. You can see actually a couple people are taking the bypass because they wanted to. This is not something that's required. And we are up near Trail 7. I'll shortly in the video I'll actually throw up a map to show you where it's at, so you can see somebody say the orange Jeep over there in the background is taking the bypass around Morgan's Hill. Because like I said, it looks super easy, but it actually I guess is a little more kind of menacing looking in real life than it is in the video. So this is footage of me going down Morgan's Hill, and you can see here a little bit of perspective of how much steeper it is, I guess, in a couple spots. And the trick here is just to control your speed, and you can use hill descent if you want to make it easy. So while we were down here, I saw this amazing thing. This is a TJCB mount, and they cut the bottom of it off, and it fits perfectly on the Gladiator. Like, isn't that cool? So yeah,
you're out here on 7. There's a little loopy, kind of like on 7 near us, on the map if you look, and it's pretty tight up here, kind of like Boy Scout or the Pines a little bit. But yeah, anyway, it's fun. We're out here, and we will do the mud pits shortly, and we will see you guys around.
Hey tube, so we are going to skirt the edge of the map, the upper part of the map, like you keep seeing, and there's some mud here that we're going to go through, but this is not the deepest or coolest mud of the day that we go through, but there's a little bit of mud here, obviously. And so anyway, like I was explaining, when you look at the overall map, I marked the map with a big red line. So anyway, anything above the red line is pretty flat, and then anything below the line is basically where the mountain is. And to the far right side is where kind of like the good stuff is, so to speak. Like most of the blues and stuff you'll find over there, because that's like the biggest part of the mountain. And then above the line is actually where I mean, we're on a hill right this very second, but it's like mostly flat, and sort of the rightish area of the big kind of area above the map is where you'll find most of the mud and water. So right now we are kind of in the center of that map, in the upper part, getting ready to kind of head back down toward the red center. And if you're wondering what all the little cameras are, basically the map every time you take a picture with whatever device you're using, it shows you on the map like where you took the picture at. So when I turn the camera on and off, I always take a picture to make sure that I know where the videos start and stop, so I know which trails we're on if I can't see a sign. So anyway, as you can see, like I was saying earlier, this is actually a kind of a cool route, because it's like non-stop back-to-back obstacles. Even though they're very small obstacles, they are obstacles. We're either going through water, or we're doing little hill climbs, or we're doing hill descents. And like I said, this isn't even really the mountainous area. This is the area that's known to be flatter and muddier than the other areas. Now, if you want big water, if you want to flood your engine or whatever, Excelsior Swamp is the trail it's a big blue trail that goes up and down on the map that would do that, and typically that's a trail that we avoid. So we're turning onto Trail 8, and there's a map right there. You can see it's in the upper right corner. We're kind of starting to head back toward the coal road. because the general idea today is to play in the flat area for the first half of the day and then move on to like hill climbs and stuff in the rest in the afternoon. So over the rest of the video, you're going to start to see more and more water because, like I said, Excelsior Swamp is like kind of where the center of all the water is in the park, and we are basically headed towards it. We're not going to go on Excelsior Swamp. I have Excelsior Swamp videos, by the way, on the channel. There's at least a couple of them, but like we're not going to go into Excelsior Swamp. We are just going to skirt it kind of and play on some of the easier obstacles around it. So most of these obstacles, even the deeper water that you see us go in, outside of the water in the last video, doesn't really go above the rock rails, so it's really kind of safe mud to go through, so to speak. Yeah, it's nothing. None of this is really all that extreme. But the next video will be the main part of the mud for the day, the deeper stuff, I guess, so to speak. But even that, this is a green ride that we're on. We're not on a blue ride or a black ride or anything difficult. And I keep throwing out these colors. Sometimes people don't know what the colors are. So, like, think of skiing. You have like green, blue, black, double black, triple black, and so on. The same thing applies when it comes to the East Coast of the United States. Some of the parks use the same grading system. And the color system kind of matches up to like the number system, which the West Coast uses. And so here we are turning onto, I believe it is Trail 21. I'll show you on the map. See, there's a big blue line kind of going down, and a little camera or whatever. There it is, Trail 21. And I believe 21, which goes next to 24. 24, I believe, is Excelsior Swamp. So because we are kind of near it, you're going to see a lot of water. So anyway, the number system or whatever, numerically, if the difficulty was on a rating of 1 to 10, where 10 was like, insane, and 1 was like very simple. A green is typically 1, 2, 3. A blue is typically 4, 5, 6. Black is typically 7, 8, 9. And then 10 is usually reserved for the highest level. And unfortunately, there are kind of like different gradings because it's all like kind of perspective. So like if you ask Jeep Jamboree, they will tell you that like the Rubicon Trail is a 10 because it is the most difficult trail in the United States that they run Jeeps on. But unfortunately, there are other vehicles on the road other than Jeeps, so that may not be a fair way to do things. So if you have a little bit of a broader mind and you include buggies like in that, then really 10 is meant more to be a buggy trail, something that is not even feasible for Jeeps to go on. So anyway, this is not a debate on numbers and colors, but that's sort of how it all fits together. So anyway, we are headed up this trail, and I try to include what I kind of perceive the number of the difficulty of the trail on the titles that pop up, so you can get an idea of how difficult this is in my mind. Since this one had some water, and since it's a green, this might be like, say, a 2 or a 3. It is pretty easy. That hump there on the left, because I had to go around it, this would probably be more like a 3. So anyway, we will see you guys around, and please like and subscribe.